Hello Darts Nuts, I'm going to do a review of the new Target Carrera Azzurri with the new Cortex grip. These retail for around £59 I believe, and there's two steel tip models available, the CX1 and the CX2. This is the CX1 and there's two weights available, and there's a 21 gram and a 23 gram. This is the 21 gram version. They're a 90% tungsten dart. As you can see, it comes in the new slimline Target packaging, quite nicely detailed with the graphics, blue and silver. When I first seen these darts, I wasn't quite sure what to make of them. They look kind of intriguing, to say the least, but having seen them in the flesh, I think they're a beautiful looking dart. A lot better looking than I actually thought they were. So what you get is you get your three barrels, obviously, and you get some Target Pro grip stems. That looks like a short stem, and you got your Target Carrera Vision flights, and you got your Target guarantee, which is 21.3 grams, and you can activate your guarantee on the Target website. On the box it says milled axial grooves for perfect grip synergy, featuring Target's new Cortex barrel grip technology, titanium nitride PVD performance coating, which is the blue effect in between. So we'll have a close look at the darts now. Right, here's a close look at the CX1 21 gram darts. It's got a silver point and it's a tapered nose there, and the tungsten actually feels grippy for some reason, which is strange because it's only smooth. But obviously the main feature is this Cortex grip, and as you can see, it's like kind of a shape of a pinched waist. I wouldn't call it a scallop dart as such, because it's quite a long scallop if you were going to call it a scallop. But one thing I have noticed is that it feels very comfortable to hold. Definitely feels thinner in that middle, and I'm pretty sure that the dart is designed for centre grippers mostly, but even holding it there with my normal front grip feels very comfortable. I'm not so sure how a rear gripper would feel, but again, the shape of the barrel seems to conform to the shape of your fingers, so it does feel comfortable. Probably one of the more comfortable darts I've held. But the grip itself is meant to be helping you with your forward motion, and the grip is cut axial, meaning from one axis all along the length of the barrel. Now it feels more grippy when you're rolling your fingers that way than it does when you're doing it that way, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how it feels like when I throw it. If I hold the dart and rub my thumb along it, I can't really feel like the edges like I was expecting to feel. What I can feel is a kind of it feels like a kind of a slightly gritty groove. If you can look, you can see the blue part has got a kind of a groove all the way along it as well. But that way definitely feels grippy, and that way is less grippy. It's kind of a strange grip to describe. I think it's one of those grips where you're going to have to really try it to find out whether or not it's for you, but obviously we'll have to see how it works when I throw the dart. And you've got your Target Pro grip stems, I think they're only short, and your Target Carrera Vision flights. It looks like a small standard shape, that. Yeah, so it's hard to give the rating for the grip. I would say maybe it's a medium level of grip, but it's kind of got its own unique feel, so it's a difficult one to describe fully. One of them that you're going to have to try. I'll just let you have a look at it, because obviously the grip is the thing people are most curious about, so you can have a good look at it, and then I'll put a detailed close-up with all the measurements on. I do think it's a great looking dart. I think it looks much better in the flesh than it did when I first seen the images of it. Right, I'll put a detailed close-up now. Here's a detailed look at the target Carrera Azzurri Cortex CX1 21g dart. It's got a 30mm point. There's a tapered nose of 6.4mm, and it's at the front of the barrel and the rear of the barrel where the widest sections are, 6.8mm. Before the Cortex grip starts, there's a small groove of about 1mm, and including the Cortex grip and the groove at the front and the rear, it's 36.5mm wide. At the rear of the barrel you've got a smooth section which tapers towards the end of 6.2mm. Overall length is 49.1mm, and the thinnest section in the middle is 6.1mm. Alright, I'm just going to measure the length, and I'll measure the different widths along the length of the barrel. That says 49.13 or 15. See if that's right. Yeah, I thought it looked a little bit longer than that, but it must be just an optical illusion. So just over 49mm according to this, and at the front of the barrel it's 6.73, and at the rear of the barrel 6.74, and in the middle there it's 6.1, and at the beginning of the Cortex grip 6.43, and at the end of the Cortex grip 6.75. So quite a bit thinner in the middle there. Right, I'm just going to weigh the barrels. That one is 21.31 grams. $21.35 grams. And 21.31 grams. So it's very closely matched weighted. It did say 21.3 on the leaflet that came with the dart, so that's bears it out. And the weight of the full setup as supplied is 22.68 grams. Alright, the balance point with nothing attached is just a little bit front of centre. It's a little bit awkward because of the shape to get it spot on, and because of the grip kind of makes it a bit awkward as well, so it's probably just a little bit in front of centre. Obviously it's a centre balance dart. I'll just see how much is drilled out from the rear. That's probably about normal. That just looks about 10 or 12mm. And with the supplied setup, these are quite short stems. I don't think they're extra short, I just think they're a normal short stem. But with that supplied setup, then the balance is pretty much exactly in the middle. So that's the look at the Carrera Azzurri Cortex 21g darts. So now we just need to see what the grip is like when throwing the darts. So let's give them a throw and see how they go. Well, from the first few throws, like I said, I'm holding it at the front there, I'm quite pleasantly surprised, because with me holding the dart at the front and the shape of the dart, I was kind of expecting it either to be wobbling up and down trying to correct its flight, or from side to side, because obviously it's a bit weighted at both ends and thin in the middle, so I thought with me holding it there it would throw the dart off balance, but it hasn't done that at all, and the dart has stayed nice and steady through the air, so that's quite a surprise. Yeah, they're flying really nicely balanced through the air. The only thing that I do notice sometimes is it's a problem that I have with scallop darts in general, but if I don't remove that on my release nice and clean, sometimes I can catch like the wider edge and it'll miscue the dart a little bit, but that's more of a problem with me. I still have problems with my hand from my injury, but the grip on the dart when you're throwing it, when you're holding it there, you can feel the grip from side to side, but as you throw it, it just seems to, as if your finger and your thumb seem to like slide along, and it enhances the feel of the dart going forward. It's a bit difficult to describe. I can feel it like to a certain extent when I push the dart forward, but it seems to help to keep the dart nice and stable, which, like I said, it's surprising, because I thought with me holding it at the front it wouldn't be so stable. I'm going to throw a few more from the front, and then I'm going to have a go from that middle section just to see what it feels like from there. I'm just going to have a throw from that centre section now, just to see what it's like. It's quite thin there for me. I'm not really used to such a thin feel, but the thing with this dart is, if you look closely at the shape, it's a bit hard to see on the camera, but it's got a gentle curve, and I think no matter how your finger and your thumb sit on the dart itself seems to mould itself to the contours of your fingers, so it makes it a very comfortable dart to throw. I don't think it's overly grippy. It's got a fair amount of grip, but it's mostly like side to side as opposed to along the length of the barrel, and overall for me I think it's the comfort of the dart that makes it a nice dart to throw. Anyway, I'll just have a few from there to see what it feels like. Probably go all over the place because I'm not used to holding it that far up the barrel. It's a bit awkward throwing it from there, but when I get it right it does seem to fly even more stable. It's definitely a more stable flight path when you're throwing it from there. It's a bit awkward for me, but it's still pretty good even with my front grip. Just have a couple more from the centre. Bit high. I could possibly get used to throwing it from there. I think it's the comfort of the dart that's making it easier. Yeah, it's very comfortable holding it there, and although I can't really get it spot on, it flies really nice from that centre section, but I'm happy enough holding it at the front. It flies really nicely from there as well. I'll just, for argument's sake, I'm going to try gripping it from there now, see what happens. This is going to be weird, this, holding it so far up. Yeah, as expected. Although it's okay, what I tend to be noticing is I get more spiraling from holding it there, but that's just because it's not my natural grip. If you're a rare gripper, then you'll probably find it fine. Yeah, it's too awkward for me holding it there. I'm just going to go back to my front grip now. Yep, I think this is a really nice dart. The grip is kind of unique and it's difficult to describe it, but it does seem to help to some extent when you're thrusting the dart forward. But the dart itself, because of that shape, it feels very comfortable, like I've said, and although I think it's probably best suited to centre grippers, I find it okay folding out the front, and I'm sure a rear gripper will probably find it just as comfortable. The lovely looking dart as well, and they fly so much better than I was expecting. They're a lot more stable than I thought. Because of the shape, I thought it would be wobbling all over, but they don't. They're nice and stable through the air. What I'm going to do is, if you want to win this particular set of darts, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel and I'll draw a winner out, and I'll do that on the 30th of September, so it gives everyone a chance to subscribe and enter the prize draw. So good luck with that if you enter and subscribe, and thanks for watching.